biologist. I evaluate products based on how they function in the atomic or molecular space. Weight loss and GLP-1. I mean, it's so horrific what these GLP-1, these snake venom, you're poking holes in your cells. You'll lose weight, but I guarantee you 3 months from now, you'll be psychotic, if not dead. And it's horrible. So I'm just trying to get people with the fix. The most important thing is you're not addicted. You're not addicted. You don't have to drink until you calm. You don't have to use, what's the behavior where you're, um, you don't have to medicate. You don't have to self-medicate. You're not freaked out. You're not running around the room. You're like, okay, I got this. And you calm it all down, and you especially normalize the pooping. There's no way. If you eat 3 meals a day, you poop 3 times a day. If you eat 1 meal a day, I mean, come on. We've changed our whole language. Oh, you've got a low temperature. Oh, you've got pandas. We've heard that before. What is that? That's an acronym for a particular type of pathogen, and it's strep when it's introduced into you. What is a Prevnar vaccine? Why are they giving those to your children? You mean 13 different bacterial antigens bound to aluminum, just pieces of those things bound to aluminum, and they stimulate 13 different pathways, and then you inject it in the other arm. You only called it Hinrix. You only called it Pediarix. What is it? What is DTaP? Diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pertussis. Oh, whooping cough. Oh, you mean you don't cough and you spread the infectious agent in somebody that is too vulnerable to have developed that maturity and that part of their immune system, a newborn? Oh, so mom can't see grandchild if mom doesn't, Big Bad Wolf doesn't get the shot. Well, um, my mom would pop me across the room and take those grandchildren and say, until you can grow up and take care of them. But fix means pH, it's a little I, and X, and it's a fabulous product. An acid extract of hops, CC with hospital homicide. There are many people that are showing you this product. It's absolutely, you will lose weight, but you will remodel. You will actually remodel. You will actually strengthen. You will actually lose inches while the scale might not appear to move. That's our brainwashing for 100 years. You have to weigh less than 100. You have to weigh less than 100. So we're all drinking Diet Coke and we're eating all these fake bars. And all of a sudden we realize, well, wait a minute, we're all fat. And we weren't all fat before. So when I get fat, I know my brain's not working and my rings won't turn around. And it's usually not what I'm eating. It's not the Big Mac. It's the time. If your intestines, stenosis, steatosis, your liver, steatosis, it's just stagnating. Those words, what do they mean? So that's what I teach everybody, that. So again, it's a matter of the words changed, all of them.
Perfect. Renee is saying, I have not found the terpene product. Which, would you know a name of the terpene product you talk about?
Well, the terpene product that we're developing, there are a number of terpene products, but the one we're developing is called Oncogen X. And it's gonna be a mixture, terpenes like turpentine, not good. Take paint off walls, not good. Please don't do that. But the terpenes, that's why you're going to love Rich Fisher. You're not looking, Rich Orley. You love Rich Fisher too, but you're not looking for You're not looking for a product. You're looking for a pathway. You're looking for what's blocked, which oils aren't in the plants I'm eating, which energy systems aren't being fed, and which your endocannabinoid system, the dimmer switch, lipid signaling system. Humans do not have cell walls. They don't have lipopolysaccharide. Lipo means fat. Liposuction, oh, you suck it all out. Well, that's where your toxins are, or you cut it all out. The biggest single problem we've had is everybody that yeah, is everybody that did this. So yes, oncogenics will come out, Renee, and we've tried to put not only the terpenes, but also the hops, the acidic extract. We learned from how good the fix is. And so what we would like is for you to be able to supplement with fix and then see the kinds of results. It can't happen quickly because fats store toxins. If your fat releases the toxins, we have to kind of modulate, and the word is modulate. You don't block. That's why you don't take A, D, K, and E, because your body will say, I got to waste all that energy for all those, my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I'd look at your liver and clear that. We've got to do lipophagy as much as we do. So I'd look at your diet in the meantime. It'll come up. We've got the other terpenes and various things. So we created it to synergize with the foreign protein cleanse so that, like we heard earlier in the discussion, we wouldn't, you can use chlorine dioxide, but you don't want to kill your endogenous virome or your endogenous um, microbiome. Microbes are 10 to the minus 6. You see them with a microscope. That's why we can see these parasites or our red blood cells sticking together. A parasite's the 5G. You turn that thing on and they stick together. It's no different. They're glyco, they're sugar, they're sweet. Not sugar, glycolysis versus glutaminologist. So yes, we will when the product comes out. I mean, it's close. We've tested it basically, and I still have probably 25 bottles or so, but I'm using that with practitioners and having people try just a little cupful so that we could see how it works in with everything we're doing with folks like Avery Jackson and Michael Karlfeld, and where we want to mix in with what Christina, because we're clearly missing those hormones and endocrine disruptors and all these synthetic estrogens and these things that are in our environment. Why we play Cheryl Atkinson in our book club, why we play, follow the science in Cheryl Atkinson's book, because they showed you how they had to make frogs not jump out of the water, hermaphrodites. It's interesting, the frog chapter. And I know Cece on the Stop the Shots X Space, when you want to follow this one every week and every day they do it, but they have different speakers and different perspectives. So as we're listening, we're not so much looking for a quick fix, like fix, PHIS. It's pH, it's potential hydrogen. But where else might there be a blockage is subluxation, Billy DeMoss. We talked quite a bit about what does that mean? I actually said, Billy, what does that mean? And he said the light. Lux means light. Ah, so you have a sub amount of light going through the joints, through the spinal cord, which is delivering energy from top to bottom. And those get blocked, and then you build up on one side of the light and you start destroying the tissue because it's in the wrong place. How's that?
Perfect. Okay, we got two kind of nutritional type questions. One is, what's your opinion on apple pectin?
Apple pectin is in peels of apples. I don't have an opinion. God made it as an important part of apple peels and a part of the pectins. I will use an apple cider vinegar that's pure from a farmer's market. So I will use a lot of fermented products from various vendors, but I don't have an opinion on apple pectin other than I know it's there for a reason. So an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So I think I'll eat the whole apple. Thank you.
Very, Fair enough. Good point. Do you still recommend nutritional frontiers powders, proline greens to
Yep.
take in addition to Cardio Miracle?
Yep, but I very carefully put them to the person. What we found is when we use proline greens along with the Cardio Miracle, and I used to put it in the same drink. What happens is it delivers too much oxygen and magnesium. It's hard to say too much, but the chlorophyll, it's the same thing. It directs it to the most inflamed thing. And sometimes the children, especially the old people, didn't mind because the old people need that extra chlorophyll. The old people need the milk thistle, the things that clean out the liver in some of these powders. They have a pro orange and a pro red. So we started thinking from the Stop the Shots and from our book club, we started looking at people who said, well, what do I do for tinnitus? Well, let's look at purple things. So Nutritional Frontiers, yes, I love them. The GI Complete. The GI Complete is a powder. The Mag Complete is a powder. It's every kind of medium. That's why I kind of beat up the QAnon lady a little bit on TV, because it's like if you put magnesium glycinate to it or you put magnesium threonate to it, well, fine, your brain won't work or your muscles won't work. You decide. So I like to, and I see that Dr. Artis recommends apple pectin, but again, were your apples sprayed? And in fact, the proline greens has a cinnamon apple, so and there are various things in the microsomal processing and all the other plants. So I love those products, but who, when, why, when, and how? And so we found with my friend Alex Mayer, she struggled with her 2011 flu vaccine injury or 2009, whatever. And she could never quite get over always not being able to eat anything. And one day I'm just talking to her and we're doing this like apple pectin and stuff like that. Um, we're talking about why would you do an individual thing if you could have a formulation in a powder or a liquid that include just a little bit of it? I mean, how much apple pectin can you eat? How much apple peel? Well, was that apple sprayed with a peel? APEEL, when it hits your grocery store, that will in fact be a poison. Is that fluid, that water that's coming from, I don't care which grocery store. Apple pectin in your apples are no good because everything in the grocery store is irradiated. And everything that's so-called fresh and real food and organic vegetables is sprayed all night long by every vaccine that's being shoot through the air all day long. Your butcher's butchering cows and pigs together. He might wipe the knife off on his shirt. Yeah, that's not going to work for you. You just added some viruses. You dip an egg in Clorox and everything goes through the shell. So Robert O. Young's not wrong in the pH miracle. Why is it a miracle? Because God did it. God did it and we attempted to GMO around it. And now we're in trouble because the words don't mean the same thing again. So yes, I love Brian Artis and he recommends apple pectin. Where are you going to get it? And how much do you need? Why not use a formulation that would be proline greens? But if you're a kid and you need to run your liver and you need to run and you've been injected with shots that gave you type 1 diabetes, and then you have to, because of CPS, put a Dexcom, wear a Dexcom and inject insulin. That's just driving your disease. Oh, but it kept my numbers okay. So my doctor's happy so I can live my life while I explode. No, not Dexcom, not this crap on your phone. Don't do it. No, don't inject yourself through this thing or anything else. Don't do cardiac care where you put your fingers in your freaking hypochondriac because your doctor doesn't know what bradycardia is. If he knew what a bradykinin is, again, this is the same thing about your cardiologist. So your cardiologists are in fact the problem because well, again, oh great, when after I poison my patient with the statins, I give them QAnon. And then you've got a skateboarder and he's taking Q&all too. Oh, great. We're going to go with a skateboard who's got dark circles under his eyes. He's beat himself up. He's a 50-year-old child and he's being poisoned by his doctor. And somehow we listen to this guy because he can skateboard. I mean, I don't know how to change. I think only of Andre Agassi. What did Andre Agassi say, the tennis player, decades ago? Image is everything. Oh, you mean what it looks like is everything? And of course we knew of his life. Image is everything. And so once you know the truth, if you don't do it. So love apopectin. If we're gonna keep doing this, and this is why I will get irritated, just good for you. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. They didn't say juice carrots. You juice carrots and you'll die of cirrhosis of the liver, even if you never drink a drop, because you're holier than thou. And that's in our book, Ending Plague. You'll hear it. No, God didn't make carrots to juice. No, God put the carrots under the ground, but they're loaded with poison. So yes, everybody's like, Chris beat cancer. Yes, Chris beat cancer, and he's a great guy. Why? No, God beat the cancer in Chris. Chris decided one day to stop poisoning himself. He cut out the tumor in his large intestine. And I'm going to direct everybody to John Richardson Jr.'s talk. That was the one that changed everything. I prayed for him. I hope I don't see you on the other side. But yeah, like he said, I'm John Richardson. No matter how much you scare me, I don't have colon cancer, and I know exactly what that is, and you just lied to me, and I'm not going to let you. So Chris beat cancer, and he had a lot of courage, because what he did was he let him cut it out, but he said no chemo. He said, I'm going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to look for things, and that's why we use John Armstrong, the founder of Get Healthy Store. That was cancer in 14. We knew of that. So he went around looking, and doctors couldn't know what was garbage and what was good in supplements or nutrition. How do I know when it's everywhere in the stores? How do I distinguish what's good and what's bad? So the fact is, sure, a guy who's relatively well off and can buy the cleanest food and everything and can juice it, that's fine. But what happens to the apple peel when you juice? What happens when God put things in nature in an order? And yes, we can develop nice recipes and nice soups, and we can take the seed here and the leaf there and the thing there and put it together in a recipe with just a pinch of this and just tickle the sensors. That's what Cardio Miracle is. 58 fruits and vegetables. You could save $4 zillion in most of your life if you just take that bag and buy that, set it down below you, and see what's in it, and don't buy any of that in the grocery store. That becomes your orange juice. Don't buy orange juice. Nothing in the grocery store is food. They said, I say 3%. And on the show with Daryl, he said 1%. And I think I'm closer to him now. So everything, I can't afford that. You know how many years it is since I walked in there? I can't even think of the last time. I was married longer than the last time I walked in a grocery store. And that's the point, because it's not food. It's processed. Dr. Malhotra, who Bobby's brought in, that's why we're looking at who they're talking to. And another cardiologist who learned the hard way. His father died. His father, the cardiologist, and he died, and he got injured by those vaccines. He'll be helping the Kennedy side of the administration. You went quiet again, sweetie.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, brave hearts all around the globe. We got 2 minutes. So I just want to thank Judy for being there. She's just as committed to our education as Dr. Daryl Wolfe is. Take her word seriously. Get your list of books, get your summer reading on, and keep tuning in to all the wonderful social media channels that are going to give you this information. Judy, did you have anything? I mean, you've been talking for almost 3 hours now. Did you want to say anything else?
Just lots and lots of gratitude for you, Sandra May, for everybody that's on the line. Thank you for Kristen and Tracy who asked the question, because I know some of you are frustrated because I never quite give you the answer and I talk in circles, because there's the truth is Jesus, on this earth. And anything that's God's given you is for your health. But how it's directed and how it's managed is up to you, and that's why you want to deal with people like Dr. Darrell and you. So gratitude to you, for Sandra May. It's not tough. It's not easy. It's tough to come in here and run and ask questions when you're learning from me only over the last few months.
No, it's not tough at all, dear. You got to show up if you want to be in this world in 2025. It's show up, grow up, and do your best. So not a problem. So again, DACA Detox people out there in Zoom and on all the various social media channels that are connected, thank you for being there. Keep tuning in to the BHN TV station. Get the app downloaded so nothing can keep you from getting into our app. We love bringing in high quality people like Dr. Judy. Darrell has a whole host of friends, and he loves helping to show the spotlight on everybody because we can learn so much from the whole community. So thank you all for being there. Be a brave heart, and that means go within, look at your belief systems and decide, are they good enough for you and good enough for your world? And if not, you use your love band to say 3, 2, 1, I'm going to get a new program. Thank you, Judy, for showing up. Thank you, everyone else, for being there. You bring up our vibration when we all come together.
Yes, you do. Thank you, Sandra May.